D, wait for it, light bulb.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and we of course share them down below in the discussion section, or the comment section, where we can discuss it and everything. And so let's just dive right in. So here we go. Okay, so for my first story, now this is a fun one. Oscar Isaac is going to make another Ex Machina movie, but this one has to be retitled because he already starred in a movie called Ex Machina, and that was with Alex Garland, and that he made with Alicia Vikander. Now, interesting, both Oscar Isaac and Donald Gleason, who were both in Ex Machina, both went on to do Star Wars, so that's a little fun fact. And so they've decided to rename this movie because it would be too confusing for him to be in 2 movies called Ex Machina. And they're going to change it from Ex Machina to The Great Machine. Now, this is a story of a former superhero who can talk to machines and who becomes a mayor. And so The Great Machine works really well as a title, but the thing is, this is actually, instead of it being a superhero story, it's more of a commentary, a little bit like Joker was, and it really serves as a commentary on government and how organizations like that, like in government, and how they interact. So he's not only going to star in this, but he's also going to produce along with his manager, and they both have produced one movie besides this one together. They both produced it together, and that was Operation Finale. And that was about the Israeli government hunting down a Nazi who was played by Ben Kingsley. Now, I've never seen that movie, but it's based off of a true story, even though I read that they had changed some things. Now, Ex Machina is, of course, a comic book, and this is, of course, Brian K. Vaughan's breakout comic. And, of course, you might know him. He also wrote Y: The Last Man and Saga, which is ongoing right now. Now, he's very talented comic book writer, which he doesn't do much anymore with comic books because he's moved over to Hollywood, and right now he's working on a couple of TV shows, and he also has an overall deal with Legendary, which this is a part of. And now this sounds like a small project to me, but it could be awards. It could be awards friendly if they play it right, and they play it kind of like Joker did. I think that they could do very well with this if it is a movie, if it's not a TV show, especially with that whole government commentary and everything going on. Back to real quick, if you haven't read Y: The Last Man or Saga, I suggest you jump right on there. I've never read Ex Machina, the comic book, but I do like Brian K. Vaughan. I think he's very talented, and I would suggest all of his works and everything. So that's my first story. So for my second story, Guardians of the Galaxy star Karen Gillian has turned her sights to the DCEU. Now, when asked what other pop culture icons she would like to play, Gillian told Brazil's Omelette, I think that's how you say it, she said Batgirl would be pretty cool. Yeah, she's a redhead. Which I don't know what that has to do with anything, but whatever. Now, when she was asked if she could direct any comic book movie, Batgirl would also be her top choice, and she said Batgirl would be cool for that as well. My favorite films in that world are dark, and my favorite one is Dark Knight. And then she explained, I just love the way that it was directed so much, so I would love to work on that kind of world as the director. So you've got this Karen Gillian situation, and who doesn't want to be in a movie? And Karen Gillian is like, oh, I'd love to be Batgirl. Like, that's nice, but there's no talk for you to be Batgirl, and that's the most, it's a moot point anyways, because they've cast Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. So Karen Gillian as Batgirl, because Jeffrey Wright is black, and he'd have to to be her dad, and Hollywood's not dumb, so they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. And Karen Gillian wanting to direct a movie is just the most asinine thing I've ever heard, and she has no directing experience. So who on earth would let her direct a movie that's just so important? I mean, everybody would love to write and direct a major Hollywood movie and star in it, but you can't. So, and I love Karen Gillian, and I think that she's fantastic, and not just only in the Marvel movies, but in a lot of other stuff that she's done before. But I just think this is just crazy talk. It's just crazy, and plus it'll never happen. It'll never happen. But it's good for her for wishing. Okay, so that's my second story. So for my last story of the day, the Hunger Games creator Suzanne Collins is continuing the series with a prequel story to the saga of Katniss Everdeen and her revolution to free her homeland of Panem from fascist tyranny. Now, back in the fall of 2019, we learned that the Hunger Games prequel would be titled The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Well, now, Entertainment Weekly has dropped some big reveals for the project, including one major game-changing character. The story premise detailed that the Hunger Games prequel will follow Cornelius Snow as its protagonist. That's right, Katniss Everdeen's arch-nemesis, President Snow, will be the hero of his own Hunger Games prequel story. What? As Entertainment Weekly exclusively revealed, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes takes place 64 years before the Hunger Games, and the version of Cornelius Snow we meet is a teenager born to privilege, but searching for something more. A far cry from the man we know he will become. Here, he's friendly, he's charming, and for now anyways, he's a hero. Along with that big character reveal, Entertainment Weekly actually got a first excerpt from the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, along with this exclusive thirst trap image of a young Cornelius Snow, courtesy of Suzanne Collins. Now, let me just say right now, first off, I like the Hunger Games, the books, the movies wise. I don't really care for the last two. The second one is definitely the best one. But as far as this goes, I know a lot of people were freaking out that President Snow would be a good guy, per se. But I have to say, listen, not everybody starts off bad. He could totally been a good guy and then just totally been corrupted, like a lot of people are, a lot of politicians are. So I think that maybe starting him off with good intentions and then showing his progression towards corruption and evil might be the way to go. So I say don't count it out, give it a chance, and let's see where it goes from here. So those are my 3 stories from this week. What do you guys think about them? How do you feel about Oscar Isaac being in the comic book movie Ex Machina, which will be, and its new title, The Great Machine? How do you feel about Karen Gillian wanting to be Batgirl? Is it a pipe dream, or is it something that you think could happen? And how do you feel about President Snow being the hero of the Hunger Games prequel? Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see you guys next Sunday on my weekend review. You guys have a good week. Bye. Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my weekend review.